Hi folks, this is Rob Cywes here again. I am the carbohydrate addiction doctor, the Carb Addiction Doc. And today we're going to talk about part 2. We're going to follow up on the last podcast I did, which is vulnerability to addictive behavior. Why me? Why am I vulnerable to overeating carbohydrates? What happened? What's my backstory? And in this segment, we're going to talk about our upbringing, how we raise our children. So when it comes to human beings more and more are productive. We do things, we create things, we work hard, we have excellence. But what that hard work, what that excellence does is it breeds emotional tension. The byproduct of productivity in human terms is emotional tension, anxiety, stress, depression, anger, fear, frustration, boredom, pleasure. Just like when your car is working really well, when that engine is working well, the byproduct is heat from the engine. And every car manufacturer knows that, so they build in a cooling system. And yeah, the cooling system may superficially take away some energy from the engine and take up space under the hood of your car. But the cooling system is vital to enhanced function and normal function by the engine. In exactly the same way with human beings. We're raised to be productive. We're productive. But we build up all this emotional tension. And we have to, if we're going to be effective as human beings, we have to develop a robust cooling system. Well, the cooling system is the have-tos, is the get-tos. So when it comes to productivity, we have to work hard. We have to produce excellence. When it comes to the cooling system, it's fun things we get to do to relax us. And a healthy cooling system has really two requirements. It requires effort, so you put effort into something that's pleasurable. And because there's a time component, so it's effort and time, the effort activates the endorphin system. So when I take my dog for a walk, the physical activity, not strenuous, not hard, not long, not far, but the physical activity relaxes me, it activates my endorphin system. But the time component allows me to connect meditatively and process the subconscious issues that are driving my emotions. That's a healthy emotion management system. What goes wrong in human beings? And where can we improve things? It's not a fault thing, it's not a blame thing, it's not a judgment thing. But inherent to raising our kids, and a parent's job, is not to make the child productive. The parent's job is to share with and teach the kid and help the child to develop diverse, effective emotion management systems. The job of a parent is to build a repertoire of self-esteem, self-confidence producing things that we do to manage our emotions and to connect with the issues that are driving those emotions. So it is more important for a parent to kick a soccer ball with a child than to put them on the damn team. Because the team is all about practicing and being good and being great and winning and losing. It's part of productivity. But kicking a ball outside in the yard is fun, it's pleasurable, it's relaxing. It involves physical activity and running around, but it also involves empathetic human connection. And it's not about how well the child plays, it's about how much fun they have doing it and the effort they put in. Painting or drawing isn't about how perfect the picture is and hanging out on the wall on your fridge. It's about how much fun the child had escaping into the world of the creative arts. And if we can help that child to develop play and fun and pleasure and the skills that are involved with play, fun, pleasure, rest, and relaxation, they'll always be productive. That's what our schools and our coaches are for. But now they've got the balance, they've got the cooling system. And the most efficient engine has the most efficient cooling system. Yeah, send them to a great school, put them on a great team, but teach them how to cool off. How does that go wrong? It goes wrong when parents either neglect or excessively participate in raising the child to be productive, in a child's productivity. So the way we develop emotion management skills, the way we develop, and at the root, at the heart of at the heart of addiction, every single fat person, every diabetic, every alcoholic, every drug addict, every addict, at their core, has an eroded or an underdeveloped sense of self. Self-esteem and self-confidence is just flat. So therefore, we have to use external substances to do for us what we cannot generate from within. Okay? Now, how does that happen? How does that happen in childhood? How dysfunctionally do we raise our children so that they have a very poor or eroded self-esteem and self-confidence? What happens is two things. There's two dynamics, possibly three. The majority of kids these days are either raised in an authoritarian home or a permissive home. What does that mean? Well, with a child, you have an intention. There's got to be an intent to action, intent to do something pleasurable. And when you convert that intent, when you put effort into doing that intent, I'm going to go outside and play with a soccer ball, I'm going to kick my ball. When you intend to do the thing, when you turn intent into action and you put the effort in, the return of that investment of effort is a wonderful sense of well-being, a sense of relaxation, a sense of pride. Pride. You're proud of the effort you put in, irrespective of the result. The result doesn't matter when you're doing things for pleasure. It's bonus. What matters is the act itself, the effort you put in. And the return of the investment of effort is a sense of well-being, a sense of accomplishment, a sense of pride that in little increments raises your self-esteem and your self-confidence. And then you circle back and you're able to put more and more effort into things irrespective of the outcome. When I make an omelet, sometimes it turns out perfectly. Sometimes it looks like my dog threw up on my plate. It doesn't matter because I'm proud of the fact that I made the omelet. If it was all about how perfect the omelet was and it flopped out, I'm a terrible person. That's awful. I'm a terrible cook. Then the very thing that should have made me feel good makes me feel like crap. And it's very erosive to my sense of self. That's the authoritarian child. The permissive child, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to make the omelet. I'll go buy one. So, what does that mean? Let's quantify this. The authoritarian parent, the authoritarian way of raising a child, and our parents want us to do really well. So what the authoritarian parent does is they put ridiculous standards up. They set ridiculous goals. And no matter how much effort we put in, we're always falling short. And what quantifies us is that gap between the effort we put in, the incredible effort we put in, and perfectionism. And instead of feeling great about the effort we put in, we feel like crap, and we're made to feel like crap because it wasn't good enough. And that is so erosive to our self-esteem that progressively over time, we triangulate to some inanimate thing that makes us feel good. Whatever's available. And in the modern era, that's carbohydrates, because they're being given to us from birth. So we bond with the carbohydrate as a way to mitigate that emotional pain that we feel by not being good enough. And think about this, then you become fat and sick, and you're even less good enough. And it's just this self-defeating thing that makes us feel awful. So our self-esteem and our self-confidence is in the toilet. But we've got to defend that with a facade. And very often those kids become narcissistic, they become liars, or they distort reality, but they can't connect effectively with authoritarian figures. That's me. That's my background. That's my upbringing. And it's not my parents' fault. They did the best they could. But that's how I turned out. And the back half of my life has been all about correcting that behavior. But the authoritarian person is raised to be perfect. And no matter how much effort they put in, it's never good enough, so they never build up self-esteem and self-confidence, and they triangulate to some inanimate thing that gives them immediate tranquility and pleasure. And that's usually a drug, or a behavior that does that. Anger, shouting and yelling. That's another one. Substance abuse, another one. It's a dysfunctional way to manage our emotions. And that is an authoritarian parenting style. Let me just give you a brief example. Hey, Johnny, here's broccoli. You got to eat the broccoli. Broccoli's good for you. Oh, Mom, okay. And you put the broccoli down, and after 20 minutes, you've eaten the broccoli. Look, Mom, I finished my broccoli. Well, hell, Johnny, that took you long enough. Never good enough, never getting praise. How is that child able to build up self-esteem? Another example. Hey, look, Mom, I got an A in my math test. I came second in my class. Well, what question did you get wrong? Why didn't you get an A plus? Who came first? Never good enough. And then we become that person. And we set ridiculous standards for ourselves. We keep falling short and we're miserable. And then we raise our own kids the same way. So addiction is transferred across generations, not genetically. Nobody's genetically an alcoholic. There's no genes for being fat. Yeah, the genes that govern insulin, but it doesn't make us fat if you don't eat carbohydrates. There's no gene for eating carbohydrates excessively. It's behavior and it translates across generations. So let's look at another parenting style. Let's look at the permissive style. I call it the Nike problem style. The child has a lot of intent, but there are no boundaries. There's no structure. The authoritarian parent has too much structure. The permissive child has none. So they never ever translate intent into effort. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to do this. I'm going to make this happen. And somewhere between I'm absolutely going to make this happen and actually putting the effort in to make it happen, they don't go this way, they go sideways. They have a Nike problem. They just don't do it. And if they just don't do it, if they just don't put the effort in, how the hell can they build up their self-esteem and their self-confidence? Because there's nothing to be proud of. So they never build it up. The authoritarian parents, it's highly erosive. But the permissive child never builds it up. And they find the easiest pathway to make themselves feel better. And that obviously is triangulation to a drug that's readily available, that's instantly consumable, and gives them instant gratification and relaxation. Examples of that? Hey, Mom, I've got a math test tomorrow. I'm going to study really hard. But you know what? There's a cool show on TV. I want to catch the last episode. And right after that episode, I'm going to study really hard. And after the episode, you know what? I'm really tired. But I've got another math test next week. I know this stuff well enough. I'll take a C this time. And next time I'm going to study really hard to get an A. And obviously tomorrow never comes. Or perhaps, hey, Johnny, I want you to eat this broccoli. It's really good for you. Okay, Mom, I'm going to eat the broccoli. I'm really like my... But you know what, Mom? There's some pizza left over in the fridge. Let me eat the pizza tonight, and I promise you tomorrow I'll eat double the broccoli. And of course, tomorrow never comes. Never put the effort in, never build up the self-esteem, no rules, no structure. Happy, but happy through consumption, not happy through effort. There's no pride. Self-esteem, self-confidence in the toilet. Equal outcome, two completely different ways of doing it. The third group, which is much more rare, is what we call the neglected kids. Those are kids where the parents are so busy doing what parents do, or absent, or foster children, or whatever it may be, variety of different scenarios, very, very unfortunate circumstances, where the children are forced to find their own way. Some kids turn out brilliantly. They discover the pride of effort, and they become phenomenal people. But others find instant gratification in substance as a substitute for the effort. Nobody's guiding them. Nobody's giving them that expectation. And the neglectful kids very commonly end up in substance abuse problems. They're actually sometimes the easiest people to treat because they raise themselves. Now, what's the healthiest way to be? The healthiest way to be, and don't confuse the two, the healthiest kids are raised in an authoritative environment. Not an authoritarian, but authoritative environment. What does that mean? It means that there are very fixed boundaries, but latitude, choice, and equality within that. So, for example, the way it would go with the eating is this. Hey, Johnny, I want you to eat a vegetable. Boom, boundary. You're going to eat a vegetable. Okay, Mom. All right, Johnny, you can choose. Do you want carrots, do you want peas, or do you want broccoli? So you're involving Johnny in the choice. It's his choice. All right, Mom, I like broccoli, I'll have broccoli. Okay, here's your broccoli. And Johnny sits down and he eats the broccoli and eats half of it, eats a third of it. Hey, Mom, I'm full. Great job, Johnny. You put the best effort forth. Go out and play. He wasn't perfect. He didn't finish the broccoli, but he put the effort in, and the mother recognized that and praised it. So tight boundaries set by the mom with choice. It's Johnny's broccoli. He does the best he can, and he gets praised for the effort. That child is extremely unlikely to end up as an addict. And that's what we're looking for. I'd much rather have a child that studies super hard for their math test and gets a C than a child who doesn't study at all and gets an A. Why? Because it's not about the mark. It's about the effort. And that's life. And if you're willing to put effort into things irrespective of the outcome, you're going to love to play the guitar even though it sounds like crap. You're going to love to sing, you're going to love to garden even though your garden looks terrible. You're going to love to go for a walk or a run even though you don't get the best time. You're going to play rec soccer. You're going to love to have conversations with people because everybody can benefit from a fun conversation. You don't have to show off about how good or how bad you are. You put the effort readily into things that you love to do, and the outcome doesn't matter. Why? Because your self-esteem and your self-confidence is through the roof. You're willing to take risks of new things because the outcome doesn't matter. What matters is that you get to do it. And anybody can become that person, should they put their authoritarianism on hold. In other words, don't be expectational, or if you put the effort in. Remember, the return of the investment of effort for pleasure gives you a sense of well-being, a sense of accomplishment, a sense of pride that in little increments builds up your self-esteem, irrespective of the result. That's the way we conquer addiction. I hope that helped you. I hope this gives you some insight into who you are. My job as a doctor is to identify authoritarianism or permissiveness in a patient within 10 seconds of meeting them. Because if I screw that up, I'm going to put structure around an overly structured person or dismantle structure from someone who doesn't have any. It is crucial as therapists that we identify the family background of that person and help them to change. I can't make you change, but I can help you to. That's what we do. Come and see us. I hope you enjoyed that podcast. If you did, please click the subscribe button and become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And if that message resonated with you and made you think, and you made a decision to do more to help yourself, but you need help, please come and see us. Set up a consultation. We can do it in person in my offices in Palm Beach Gardens at 561-627-4107, or in Jacksonville, Florida at 904-410-3934. I also do some long-distance consults telephonically or on Zoom. Set that up as well by calling 561-627-4107. We help people to manage their diabetes better and also to get started in obesity management. Or if you've had bariatric or obesity surgery and are struggling, give us a shout. We can help to get you back on track.